This is Chris McDaniels. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris McDaniels, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both my TikToks. I'll be down there in the description box. And I'm here to do my WWE NXT November 12th, 2024 reviews. So here we're going to be discussing about tonight's episode of NXT. Now we kick off the show with the first match of the night. It was Julia and Stephanie Vaquer versus Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson, Metaphor, in a tag team match tonight. So yeah, we get to this match, but before this match even started, there was like a promo from Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson while they was making their entrance, but it was like from earlier today when they was talking, they was talking about how they're going to beat Julia and Stephanie Vaquer and show them, you know, the real dominant team and all that. So yeah, that's what he was talking about there. But yeah, we get to this match, and this match, it was pretty good. There was a bunch of cool spots in this match. Like at one point, Jakara Jackson jumped off of Lash Legend's shoulders, hitting a crossbody onto Stephanie and Julia outside the ring, which was pretty cool. But then we started getting towards the ending of this match, where we see Stephanie hit like a super kick onto Lash Legend, and then Julia jumps off the second turnbuckle with a code breaker onto Lash Legend, taking her out, knocking her out of the ring, and then Julia got on the ring apron, jumping off the apron with a missile drop kick onto Lash Legend, taking her out for the rest of the match. And then we see Stephanie Vaquer tagging in Julia, and Julia jumped off the top turnbuckle with a nice missile drop kick onto Jakara Jackson. Stephanie picks Jakara up, hitting her finish move, that package backbreaker onto Jakara, and then Julia and Stephanie picks up Jakara, hitting a double knee to the face onto Jakara, pinning her for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Julia and Stephanie Vaquer defeated Metaphor tonight in a tag team match. That's what happened. Pretty good match. But then after the match ended, they was getting interviewed after the match inside the ring, and they was talking about how they're going to be seeing each other at Deadline. So yeah, that's what's going to be happening there. But yeah, pretty cool match, and what happened after the match was pretty good as well. For the match and all that, I'll give it 3 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a pretty good match to open up the show. But yeah, up next we're going to be seeing Sol Ruca versus Cora Jade one-on-one in a qualifying match up next on NXT. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then. So the next thing that happened on NXT, we get to the next match of the night. It was Sol Ruca versus Cora Jade in the Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying match. So yeah, this is a qualifying match for the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge. So yeah, we get to this match, and yeah, we see Sol Ruca. She makes her entrance. Cora Jade's making her entrance, and they had that promo playing from Cora Jade while she was making her entrance. This promo was cut earlier today, where she was talking about how she was in the ring with the best women last week, including one of her best friends, Roxanne Perez. And then she was talking about how she is going to beat Sol Ruca and then become the Iron Survivor winner. So yeah, that's what she was talking about there. And then we get to the match. And this match, it was decent for the most part. It was pretty good. Both of these women going back and forth and everything. But then we start getting towards the ending of this match, where we see Sol Ruca jump onto the top rope. Cora Jade moved out of the way. Sol Ruca hits the mat. Well, then we see Cora try that double hooked arm DDT onto Sol. The Sol pushes her into the corner. Well, Sol's in the other corner, and then Cora runs at her, try to hit like a knee to on her, but Cora moves out the way. Sol moved out the way. Cora hits her knee on the top turnbuckle, and then that's when Sol hits her finish move, the Sol Snatcher, onto Cora Jade, pinning her for the 3 count. So yeah, Sol Ruca defeated Cora Jade tonight in the qualifying match. So Sol Ruca qualifies into the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge for Deadline. So yeah, that's what happened there. It was a pretty good match. For that match, I'll give it 2.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was pretty decent. But yeah, then after that match ended, we see Javon Evans and Cedric Alexander talking backstage, and Javon was talking about how Sol Ruca is the first person to qualify into the Iron Survivor Challenge. And he says that, he got his match later on tonight to qualify into it. And he says that Cedric got his match against Wesley later on tonight as well to qualify into that match as well. And they say it's going to be a tough challenge, but they're going to get through it. And then they walk by, and then we see Carmen Petrovic talking to Dion Lennox. I think that's how you say his last name. They was talking and stuff, and Carmen was talking about, like, they were talking about, like, favorite colors and all that stuff. Brandon Reese comes up, talking to him and all that, talking about what's going on here. And then Ashante the Adonis comes up talking about how he thought he was best friends, him and Dion. And Dion's like, when did we became best friends and all that? And Dion don't even want to be involved in this love triangle type stuff. And, Burnley Reeves was talking about like a tag team and all that. So, yeah, that's what was going on there. But yeah, up next it'll be Wesley versus Cedric Alexander 1-on-1 in the Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying match for the men's. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then. So the next thing to happen on NXT, we get to the next match of the night. But before we talk about the next match of the night, we got to talk about a segment that happened backstage. Well, actually, earlier today, when we see the NXT General Manager Ava talking to a bunch of tag teams to pretty much see who will be the next team to face Nathan Frazer and Axiom for the NXT Tag Team titles. Like she got the D'Angelo family in there. She got Hank and Tank in there. And a lot of other tag teams. So, yeah, that's what she got in there. And she's trying to figure out who will go after and face Nathan Frazer and Axiom for the NXT Tag Team title. So, yeah, that's what's going on there. But then we get to the next match of the night. It was Wesley versus Cedric Alexander in the men's Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying match. So, yeah, we get to this match. In this match, it was a really good match. I like it. Both of these guys beating the hell out of each other in this. Now we see Cedric get hit with the cardiac kick by Wes. Wes pins him 1-2. Cedric barely kicked out at 2. Like I said, it was going back and forth and everything. And at one point, when Cedric grabs Wes from the waist or whatever and trying to pull him away from the corner, we see Wes Lee pulling onto the second turnbuckle and pulls apart the turnbuckle pad, so it exposed the turnbuckle and all that. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then both of them's going at it, and then while they're going at it, the referee's trying to put the turnbuckle pad back on. And then during that time, we see Wesley get hit with the Michinoku driver by Cedric, and then Cedric pins Wes. The referee drops the turnbuckle pad. He goes for the count, and Wes barely kicked out at 2. Well, then Wesley's in the corner. Cedric runs at Wes. Wes hits a drop kick to the knee onto Cedric, and it trips Cedric up, hitting his face onto that second turnbuckle that was still exposed. And then that's when Cedric was knocked on his ass pretty much, and Wesley hits the double knees to the face of the Meteora onto Cedric, pinning him for the 1-2. So yeah, Wesley defeated Cedric Alexander tonight in the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying match. So yeah, that's what happened there. Great match. I'll give that match 3.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. Great match between Wesley and Cedric Alexander. But yeah, Wesley qualifies into the Iron Survivor Challenge. But yeah, then after that we see like a video package of the Don, Tony D'Angelo eating in his restaurant, and then Sean Spears and Brooks Jensen interrupts him and all that. And then Sean Spears talking about how he's persistent and all that, and how he's there to get Brooks Jensen a NXT North America Championship match. And he pretty much got his way, and yeah, they leave out. But yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on NXT. Up next, we're going to be seeing the NXT champion, Trick Williams, on the show. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So, the next thing that happened on NXT, we get to the next segment of the night. Well, actually, before the Trick Williams segment, we did see Kalani Jordan getting interviewed backstage, and she was talking about how she got that match against Bella Henley later on tonight for the NXT Women's North American Championship in the main event. How she's going to regain her title back and all that. And then all of a sudden we see JC Jane and Jasmine Nix, Fatal Influence, come up talking about how Kalani Jordan's not going to be winning back the NXT Women's North American Championship. How it's going to stay along the waist of Fallon Henley. And she says that, Kalani Jordan has to get through them as well if she wants that title back. So, yeah, that's what they said there. But then we get to the next match, the next segment of the night, where we see the NXT champion, Trick Williams. He comes out there, and Trick pretty much starts calling out Rich Holland because, he said Rich Holland picked up the win over him and all that last week. But, he starts calling him out. But instead of Rich Holland coming out it was Andre Chase. And Andre Chase comes out because he says that, he respects Trick and all that, but he says he got that beef with Rich Holland. Now, he wants that match against Rich Holland before Trick gets that match against him. So, yeah, that's what Andre Chase was talking about. But then Trick looks at Andre and says, look, I respect everything that you have been doing, and you've done a lot of stuff, like becoming NXT Tag Team Champion and all that stuff. But then he says that you never won the NXT Championship. And then he looks at me and he says, how about me and you have a match for the NXT Championship? And we can say, forget about this Rich Holland stuff. So yeah, that's what he was saying there. But then all of a sudden, when Andre Chase is about to give his answer, Rich Holland comes out there, interrupting him. So yeah, Rich Holland comes out there, and Rich Holland was talking about how, Andre Chase don't deserve it because he already done beat Andre Chase in the ambulance match a few weeks ago. And he was talking about how he deserves the NXT Championship match, and Andre Chase still wants that match against Rich Holland, but Rich Holland's not accepting. And Andre Chase was like, look, like, if I lose, you can have Chase U and all that. And Rich Holland was saying, nope, I don't want that. He says he wants the NXT Championship. And then Trick was like, well, how about this? Andre Chase versus Rich Holland in a number one contenders match next week on NXT. The winner faces him for the NXT Championship. And then they accepted, and then Rich Holland was talking about how he wants to take everything away from Andre Chase, even his relationships with Duke Hudson, Riley Osborne, and Thea Hill. So yeah, not only the number one contenders match for the NXT Championship is happening next week, but if Andre Chase loses, he got to leave Chase U pretty much. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff. And then after that, we see Jada Parker talking in a video package, talking about how she's going to go into the Iron Survivor Challenge match. So yeah, that's what she was talking about there. But up next, it'll be Nikita Lyons versus Adriana Rizzo 1-on-1 on NXT up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then. So the next thing to happen on NXT, we get to the next match of the night. But before we talk about that match, we see the NXT General Manager Ava talking to Josh Briggs backstage because Briggs was talking about how he was in Pro Wrestling Noah. He introduces her to one of the wrestlers, but then all of a sudden they get interrupted by Eddie Thorpe. Eddie Thorpe comes up and he says that he wants 5 minutes of her time and all that. And she was like, look, I understand. Here, I got you a match for the Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying match. So yeah, she got him in the qualifying match, and he was happy about that, so he leaves. So yeah, then we get to the next match of the night. It was Nikita Lyons versus Adriana Rizzo 1-on-1. The match starts with them both of them going at it and stuff back and forth. But then Adriana jumped off the second turnbuckle with a crossbody, but Nikita Lyons rolls through, hitting a super kick to the face onto Adriana, and then she climbs up the second turnbuckle, jumping off with a massive splash onto Rizzo, pinning her for the 3 count. So yeah, Nikita Lyons defeated Adriana Rizzo tonight in a 1-on-1 match. But then, after the match ended, Nikita Lyons had her hand raised, celebrating and all that. But then she gets hit in the back with a crowbar by Adriana Rizzo, getting laid out, and Rizzo walked out the ring. So, yeah, that's what happened there. For the match, what happened after the match, I'll give it all 1.5 stars. That's why I'll give that. But then, after that, we see Andre Chase talking to Duke Hudson, Riley Osborne, and Thea Hill, because they come up, Chase U does, they come up to Andre Chase, asking what the hell is he doing and stuff, and then Andre Chase is like, look, for real, like, rely on me and all that stuff, and he says that he's going to go beat Rich Holland's ass next week on NXT, and get that NXT Championship match against Trick Williams. So yeah, that's what he was talking about there, and then he walks off. But yeah, that's what happened there, and Chase U kind of don't got any hopes for Andre Chase right there. But yeah, that's what happened there. But up next it'll be Javon Evans versus Alexis King 1-on-1 in a qualifying match of the Iron Survivor Challenge. So yeah, that match is up next. It's still to come later on tonight. We're going to be seeing Kelani Jordan versus Fallon Henley for the NXT Women's North American Championship in the main event of NXT. So yeah, that's later on tonight. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then. So, the next thing to happen on NXT, we get to the next qualifying match. But before we talk about that, we got to talk about Zarya. So, yeah, Zarya, there was a promo package of Zarya, and she was talking about how she is going to try to get into the Iron Survivor Challenge for the women's side, and there was going to be no more mystery of who Zarya is. So, yeah, that's what she was talking about there. But then we get to the next match of the night. It was Javon Evans versus Alexis King 1-on-1 in a qualifying match for the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge. So yeah, we get to this match, and this match, it was a pretty good one. Both of these guys beating the hell out of each other, coming up near falls. At one point, Javon Evans knocked down Lexis King. He climbed up the top turnbuckle and jumps up with a nice frog splash on the King. He pins him, but King barely kicks out at 2. Lexis starts coming back, hitting that fisherman buster, like fisherman front suplex buster type move onto Javon Evans, but Javon barely kicked out at 2. Lexis King then runs to Javon in the corner, but Javon hits him with a super kick to the face, and Javon jumped up there on the top turnbuckle and jumps off with that twisting flip that twisting splash onto Lexis King, pinning him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Javon Evans defeated Lexis King tonight in a qualifying match. So Javon Evans qualifies into the Men's Iron Survivor Challenge. But yeah, that's what happened there. Great match for that match. I'll give it 3 stars. That's why I'll give it a great match between those two guys. But then after that match ended, we see the NXT Tag Team Champions Nathan Frazer and Axiom talking backstage. Behind them, you can see Carmen Petrovic talking to Brandley Reese and stuff. We don't hear what they guys say, but they're talking backstage. And yeah, Nathan Frazer pretty much was talking about how he talked to Ava and he got the Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying match. And Axiom's not all happy about that because they got focused on the NXT Tag Team titles. But yeah, Nathan Frazer was trying to go out there to NXT Championship. And Nathan Frazer was asking since Axiom's been in the match and he has it, he was pretty much wanting some tips for that match. And he says he's going after some more gold. So yeah, that's what Nathan Frazer says. And then he walks off, and then we see OTM come up talking about how, Axiom and Nathan Frazer can't get along. And they're going after the NXT Tag Team Championships. And then all of a sudden the D'Angelo family comes in there, and they're arguing with the OTM. So yeah, that's what's going on there. But up next, it will be Kelani Jordan versus Fallon Henley, 1-on-1 for the NXT Women's North America Championship. Up next in the main event of NXT. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Till then. I did forget to mention one more thing, that after the match with Javon Evans and Lexis King, Javon Evans did shake Lexis King's hand after the match. I forgot to mention that part, and there was another segment that happened backstage where we see Lexis King walking backstage, and he goes into the locker room, and, he's upset that he lost and all that against Javon Evans. And then Hank and Tank and Dante Chen comes up talking about keep your head up and all that. You're going to win some matches. Just keep your head up. So yeah, that's what he was telling him there. And then Gallus comes up calling him a bunch of losers, and then Gallus, Hank, and Tank and them is getting into it backstage. So yeah, that's what happened there. Some tension going on there. But up next is the main event. So yeah, see you guys later. Till then. So the next thing that happened on NXT, we get to the next match of the night. It was the main event. It was Kelani Jordan versus the NXT Women's North America Champion Fallon Henley with JC Jane and Jasmine Nix. Fatal Influence at ringside, and it was for the NXT Women's North America Championship. So yeah, Fallon Henley versus Kelani Jordan for the title tonight in the main event. This match, it was a pretty good one. Both of these women beating the hell out of each other. Kelani Jordan coming up near falls a lot of times in this match. At one point at the ending of this match, she actually beats down Fallon Henley and hits that split-legged moonsault onto Fallon. She pins her. 1, 2. JC Jane puts Fallon's foot on the bottom rope, which got her rope break. So yeah, it got her rope break. Kelani Jordan was not happy about that. She hits a baseball slide drop kick onto JC Jane, taking her out. Jasmine Nix gets on the ring apron, so Kelani grabs her, pulls her into the ring, and then hits a super kick onto Jasmine Nix, taking her out. Well, then, after she takes her out, all of a sudden, Fallon Henley comes up from behind, but then Kelani Jordan rolls up Fallon Henley, but got a 2 count out of it. Well, when the ref was checking on Fallon Henley after she kicked out and stuff, well, when Fallon kicked out, Kelani Jordan got knocked close to the ropes and stuff, and the referee didn't see it, but then JC Jane has a discus forearm onto Kelani Jordan, and then that's when Fallon Henley takes advantage, hitting the Famouser onto Jordan, pinning her for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Fallon Henley defeated Kelani Jordan tonight in a 1-on-1 match to retain her NXT Women's North American Championship. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good match for that match. I'll give it 3 stars as well. I'll give it. But then after the match ended, we see OTM come up, and OTM grabs the mic and he was talking about how they're going to become the new NXT Tag Team Champions and all that. And then we see the D'Angelo family come out there, Hank and Tank and Gallus, coming all out there, brawling at ringside. A bunch of referees and all them was trying to pull them apart while they're brawling on the announce table, outside the ring, and the crowd and all that. So yeah, crazy ending to NXT right there, but yeah, pretty crazy stuff for the tag team division. But yeah, for match of the night, I gotta say it was probably Wesley versus Cedric Alexander. That match was pretty good, so I'll say that was match of the night right there. For tonight's NXT, I'll give it 8.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was a pretty good episode, so yeah, that's why I'll give tonight's NXT. But yeah, that's been my NXT reviews. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris McDaniels, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. I'll be down there in the description box, and I'll see you guys later for tomorrow night's AEW Dynamite reviews. See you guys later. Till then.